Ma'arat HaMachpelah, one of the holiest sites of the Jewish people.
Hebron, עיר האבות שלנו לדורי דורות, מאז לעד ולתמיד, לנצח נצחים. חברון, עיר האבות שלנו לדורי דורות, מאז לעד ולתמיד, לנצח נצחים. באלוני ממרא זה לא היה מקרה שאברהם אבינו קנה חלקת אדמה, והוא ידע שטוב עשה שתבוא לה השעה שעם ישראל שלו יהיה בשעת צרה. חברון עיר האבות שלנו לדורי דורות, מאז לעד ולתמיד.
The Jews of Hebron live in only a small portion of the area Jews owned back in 1929 before an Arab pogrom killed dozens of them and drove them from the city. Of the 18 square kilometers of the city, the Israeli government permits Jews to live in only 3%. Jews are allowed to walk only on one street in Hebron, and should anyone dare go elsewhere, they can be charged with disobeying a public ordinance. While there are several 100,000 Arabs living in Hebron due to the small area the government of Israel restricts Jews to, only 1,000 Jews live today in the city. In addition, Arab terrorists have murdered over half a dozen Jewish residents in the past decade, including an infant girl. While the PA is working hard to build massively in the city for Arabs, Olmert's left-wing government has expelled Jews from their homes in both the Beit Shapira and Avraham Avinu neighborhoods. David Wilder, spokesperson for the Jewish community, cannot believe how fast Arabs put up new buildings in the city.
What we see in back of us is a tremendous show of bias and inequality. The Arabs here are building and building. You can see in back of me a mall. They're building apartment buildings, they're building office buildings, and of course they're building very, very high, which will make it a lot easier for them to shoot at us when they again decide to do so. They're allowed to build, they can do whatever they want, we're not allowed to do anything. In order for us to build, we need 5 building permits signed by the defense minister, which is something that very, very rarely ever happens. Not only are they building here on what's called their side of the city, which is under the control of the terrorists, the Palestinian Authority, but also on our side of the city under Israeli control in the Kasbah. They're renovating and bringing in families from outside of Hebron to form a ring around us, which is basically strangling us.
The PA also encourages local Arabs to send their daughters to the Cordova school right across from the Jewish Beit Hadassah. Though there are few local Muslim girls who go to school, the PA insists on busing in women from afar in order to keep the school open.
We're standing underneath the Cordova Girls' School. This is a school which is like a bone stuck in our throats here in the middle of the Jewish neighborhood here of Beit Hadassah here in Hebron. The school here is a provocation. They bring girls from all over the city here as an excuse to bring in more Arabs, younger ones and older ones. They bring in foreigners, and this acts as a tremendous provocation and causes us a lot of trouble.
What are the chances that an Arab store which sits in the middle of a Jewish neighborhood will be profitable? Not much. Yet the Arab sellers insist on opening their business every day, even though they are empty almost all day long. Any normal person would find this weird, but not if it takes place in the Jewish community of Hebron.
A number of years ago, many of the stores in Hebron, on this side of Hebron, were closed by the army for security reasons. There was a couple from Kiryat Arba that was killed by a suicide bomber, a homicide bomber, and the army has closed these stores so as to prevent further terrorist attacks. The Arabs in Hebron have started to reopen these stores, as we see here in back of me, some of them with permits, some of them without permits. They have no way at all to make ends meet. They're not profitable. However, they receive subsidies from outside of Hebron in order to be open, in order to try to pull more Arabs in. We're standing right at the corner of the Tel Rumeida neighborhood, the Moti Shai neighborhood. And this brings Arabs in, and it causes us a lot of trouble.
The Democratic State of Israel says it supports freedom of movement, property rights, and other basic rights. So why, when it comes to Hebron, does it negate those very values?
It's ours, folks. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Never forget that.